Hey.
Hi.
It's Tash and Carly.
And you're listening to Motherhood.
Not as we planned.
So get comfy, grab a cup of tea.
Or a glass of wine, and let's start talking about all the things too many of us avoid discussing.
Okay, right, guys, we're getting straight stuck in. So this one is called Hideous. Hi, ladies. Love your podcast. I recently became a single mum to 3 kids, and I love listening to your podcast as it's so relatable. Anyway, I thought I'd share a dating story from years ago. So I fancied this guy who went to my secondary school for years, and once we'd left school, we started chatting on Facebook. He asked me out, and we went to Nando's. Chicken Nando's? And the entire time, he didn't look at my face. He sort of looked down. So I put it down to him being shy. Next day...
Sorry, can I just say that was so awkward? Can you imagine you were just like staring at the chicken?
That is, and then you make eye contact with shit.
Yeah.
Get me some more of that peri-peri. So I put it down to him being shy. Next day we went to his place to watch a film and get a takeaway. And while I was watching the film, he stood up from the sofa and put his hands down the back of his trousers. I wasn't paying much attention, so I didn't notice much until he did it again. So I watched him. And he put his hands down his trousers again. And he scratched his arse crack and fully smelt his finger. Before sitting back down like nothing happened.
Do you think he was making eye contact? That is so bad. It actually gives me the ick when someone smells their fingers.
Well, that's a fucking weird thing to do anyway. When you just smell your finger.
I'm like, no. So weird.
Anyway, she wrote, what the actual fuck? I said, oh shit, I need to go home. Blocked. Boy, bye. It still haunts me though.
Yeah, I love that. I love your podcast. It's helped me in so many ways. So I'm laughing. During one of the hardest times in my life, this isn't funny. I shouldn't be home. I found myself at a time ready to look on at the dreaded dating app. Been seeing and sleeping with a lovely guy, cheers, for 4 weeks. Being new to the modern world and really not sure what's best to do, being with this only 4 weeks new. He's messaging loads, we get on so well and try and grab time together when we're both child-free. But I've discovered he's still on the apps, and worse, he's put a new photo up from a holiday he was on last week. I'm not...
Oh, I see.
Yeah, red flags. I'm not asking to be exclusive or anything, but I do feel a little uneasy by this. Is he looking for something better to come along? Keeping his options open, and just that whole, you're sleeping with someone, seeing what if, is there something that maybe could be better? Adding new pics makes me think he's still trying to attract and is giving someone else the attention that he is giving me. Love some help.
100% he is.
I mean, the thing is, I feel like dating these days, and I can't say that I've had loads of experience, but I think the sad reality is on these dating apps, until you both literally say, like, I'm coming off of them, like, we're really good together, we both want the same thing, you almost have to...
It's communication. I'm big on communication, I think. Like, if I was this lady, I don't know if I keep saying lady, but if I was her, I would sit down and be like, look, like, where do you see this going? And sometimes you have to be upfront. I'm not being funny. Like, sometimes as a woman, we have to take the lead with things like that because some men... I'm not slating men, but I think...
There you are.
I'm not slating men.
Okay.
But I think the fact he's changing his pictures, to be really blunt, he is keeping his options open because he's doing that to attract people in.
The only thing I would say is when you've been seeing someone for 4 weeks and dating them and sleeping together, I think for someone that, like for me, if that was me, I would get attached quite quickly. But unfortunately, I think a lot of men, unless it is said on paper, like what is going on, he actually doesn't really owe her anything.
No way.
It's really like, that's the sad reality of like modern dating.
But that's why she needs to be open.
So what she needs to do is she needs to almost like, to not scare him off, but almost set her boundaries and sort of say, I know that we're not exclusive. if you are wanting to date other people, then I would feel more comfortable not sleeping with you because that's not something that I'm doing, rather than being like, why do you change your photo? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I go with the approach of like, this is how I feel. These are my boundaries.
I also think different people have different approaches to dating. Like, I don't know, like, I know, like me compared to some of my friends, I'm very much like, I can only focus on one person at a time. I have friends who like will literally go on like 2-3 dates in a week. I don't have like the capacity to do that. I feel like I want to get to know someone properly, and I don't feel like you can fully open yourself to get to know someone if you've got your eggs in lots of different baskets. And I think that's different. So I think the person who's written in sounds like she's very much like, she's dating this person, she wants to see where it can go, whereas he might have a different approach to dating. And I think like
that's why
that idea terrifies me.
Early on.
I could never go on like a date with someone one week and then go on a date with someone another week if I was still entertaining the first person. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. That's just, I'm just that kind of, I'm very old school. I just love properly, and I don't like it like that. But then I have friends who literally, I think they've exhausted the dating pool and they're like, fuck it, I'm keeping my options open. I'm going to try him on a Monday, him on a Wednesday, him on a Friday, and see what one I like then.
Maybe I should do that.
I'm not saying, you know, but yeah, I think
I do think
communication, isn't
yeah,
it?
and it is trying to sort of get your point across as early on as possible to find out what that person is seeking, maybe before being with them. I mean, obviously that's not very helpful at all, is it?
She said the thing, I'll take that back. I take back my vagina.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know if that was actually...
No, so just like speak to him. Hi, I love listening to your podcast, really helped me during my recent breakup. Dating apps wasn't a thing when I was last single, so this is all new to me. I don't know about anyone else, but I found that like my ex-husband was like, when I met him, it was before dating apps came about. And I remember when I downloaded the app and I was like, fucking hell, this is brutal. People are literally swiping if they like the look of you, or like you've got a prompt that might be a little bit like... and I just, like, I remember feeling really overwhelmed. I remember deleting them and then re-downloading them and being like, I don't even know why I'm on it.
This is my life now.
That is your life. Yeah.
My life now.
So it is like, for anyone in that boat, like dating apps suck. It's weird. I just find it so weird. Like, people don't know how to connect in real life anymore. Like,
I think there's definitely pros and cons of it though.
yeah, I
meet
can't slate it. I meant someone for a date.
Yeah, you meet people that you wouldn't probably like meet in normal life.
100%, yeah.
But I do think you have to be lucky, but I guess it's a bit of a numbers game, isn't it?
Just got to manifest that shit, guys. To manifest that shit. That's all I need to leave.
Fucking trying.
You're doing it hard enough. Right. Anyway, I met an extremely good-looking guy on Bumble. I immediately fancied him. We met for drinks, during which he was a total gem. The evening went really well, and I had really high hopes for date number 2. He works near where I live, and the day after messaged me seeing if I fancied a drink. He picked me up from my house, and we went for a drink. We had general chit-chat, and we were somehow got onto talking about criminal records.
Is that
Do you have a tag on his ankle?
Is that general chit-chat?
General chit.
I don't know, in prison?
I don't know if I've actually spoken about it. Maybe we should speak about that too.
Topics of discussion on a date.
Add this one in. Okay. At this point, he tells me he doesn't have one, but it was close call once. So when I probed some more, thinking it was something like drink driving, he then tells me he was arrested for...
Sorry, more. Oh no, he's not the guy that threw the dog in the lake, is he?
for kidnap.
What? Are you fucking joking?
At this point, my mouth dropped. I asked, what do you mean by kidnap? Is there even a good type of kidnap? And he said someone had been mucking his sister around, so he... Someone had been mucking his sister around, so he bundled a guy into a van, drove him to a cliff edge, and threatened to throw him over.
Oh my god!
I like that kind of loyalty. I like that. We love that loyalty, family. Yeah, we love that. But it was all okay because he didn't. Sorry.
This is making me sad.
I know, sweaty. He was fine, guys, because he didn't throw him over the edge, and his mates gave him an alibi. Needless to say, it went nowhere, but I did tell my friends to keep an eye on my location, and if I was headed to a cliff edge stream.
Can I say, just to put a positive spin on it, as I like to always do that, at least he's honest.
Yeah, at least he's actually said it. He could have skimmed over that shit. She could have been bundled to a cliff edge.
It's just quite an odd thing to share, isn't it?
Has anyone ever been out with anyone who's got a criminal record? Oh,
I love that.
no, I think
That's my story.
Shut up!
That is Does he really do this more often? Yeah, I love it. Showing out, like, Is anyone here that got covered in poo?
Oh my God, did anyone hear that? That was so grim.
Oh dear, love that. Thanks for sending it in. This one is called Scared of Sucking Dick.
I made Tash read this, I couldn't physically read it.
Right, are we ready? Help. Hold on, she might be here.
No, she's 21.
So, anyone here 21?
I'd probably do that.
Oh, actually, I'm 27, eh? Hey! Okay, anyway. I'm 21 years old and I'm terrified of sucking dick. Why am I stuck with this one? Who asked for it? I've had boyfriends over the years. The first one I was about age 16 to 18. I sucked his, but not often at all, and hated when he asked.
I love that you're reading it like a novel.
My next boyfriend, age 19, just before 21, I never sucked him off, as I can imagine something like I was with him for about a year and a half. Poor lad. So, I've been out of action in that department now for just short of 4 years. I've since met a new boy, and he's now my boyfriend, and we're 3 months in, met on Christmas Eve. And he's asked me to suck him off, but again, I'm terrified, so I've just said no and changed the subject. I did suck him off last night. I love it. She's writing this and she's like, I gave a blowjob last night. Cheeky brother. Oh, when I was drunk in a taxi. I mean, she's gone from like being scared to doing it in fucking public. I think you're fine, hon. Hold on, now I've lost my place. Drunk in a taxi on the way home from a night out. But again, this morning I just blamed it on the fact that I was drunk and steered away from the conversation. I don't know where my fear has come from. I've never had a bad experience, but I feel like I've completely forgotten what to do. And I'm embarrassed to suck my current boyfriend off in case he thinks I'm shit. I know he won't leave me over it, but I'm so scared. I need tips and tricks.
Nice. Any tips and tricks? How
do I start? What do I do? Do I use my hand too? I also don't have a great gag reflex either, so that might really help. But honestly, I want to do it for him because that's what boys want. And he asks regularly, and I've tried telling him my fears. I haven't sucked one in almost 4 years. And he just says, it's okay, we'll get there. But I fear that we won't. Are you sure this is real? Is this you?
Definitely not.
I told him he would literally have to force me to do it. Surely that's not legal.
Someone's got over it.
If I'm sober because I just can't bring myself to do it, what should I do, girls?
Get drunk again.
Yeah. Just drink. Every time.
Sounds like she's alright when she's drunk.
I mean, do you know what? One thing I would say is you gave it to him in a taxi and he's asked for it again, so it can't be too bad. I say that if you've got
Muscle memory.
if you've got a gag reflex, then just don't go too deep. Are you dying at this light? Don't go too deep. If you prefer, if your mouth is a bit dry, use a bit of lube or lube. Spit. Yes. And I mean, he said that you'll be fine and he'll help you through it. So
I think she's already into the wrong podcast.
what were you trying to say? To be honest, like, unless I go really graphic and start being inappropriate, then I don't think I can help. But
I think without getting too graphic, I think sometimes you've got to just channel the person you want to be and like just exude confidence, even if you're not confident. Fake it till you make it.
Maybe watch some porn.
I was going to say that as well.
Yeah.
Watch porn.
Yeah, educational.
Quickly, but watch it on her own, kind of get a bit of...
100%, get some
Who's
tips.
the heads up, and then
No, I swear, I don't know what my algorithm did, but there's like accounts where they teach you like how to do all sorts of things. I was like, why is this my algorithm?
Not that way.
But they call it different things because otherwise it's like, they call it things because otherwise it gets blocked. So there is help out there.
How can you teach it?
Huh?
Love Honey on their Instagram.
Do they teach it?
They are. Direct her to Love Honey.
Well, they don't pay us. No, do you know what? If in doubt, Google. Get on fucking
Google it, it'll say you're dying.
Well,
It says you're dying.
yeah, if you can't give head, you're dying. Just follow some videos and ask your mates to show you.
And just pretend. Don't do that. I would just pretend you're really confident.
American Pie, I'm sure they do shit like that, no?
And then winnings.
Yeah.
Right, next email.
Yeah.
Next email. Okay, so this one's stripping it back a little bit. Right, I'll try and keep this brief. I separated from my husband in March 2023. Same as me. Yay, twins. After nearly 10 years together. Oh, same as me. This isn't me, by the way. Our youngest daughter was 10 months at the time, and we were still breastfeeding and not sleeping well. I had suspected for a few months that something wasn't right, but of course was made to believe it was all in my head. He eventually admitted to having an affair with
another one.
a work colleague whom he has known since before we were together and apparently has always been attracted to her. After her...
What a weird thing to know.
Yeah, that is weird. Oh, that was in always been attracted to her. So it's obviously something he said. After her husband caught them out and threatened to tell me. He left me for her and they are still together as far as I'm aware. After some digging, phone bills, parking tickets, etc., turns out they started spending time together as friends whilst I was pregnant. She supported him. I'm just doing that, but she's done it in vertical. She supported him whilst I was in hospital with our daughter as she was born early.
Oh my God.
Some health complications led to her spending time in the NICU, which of course wasn't easy for anyone. I also had ongoing health issues following the birth and now live with a long-term health condition. He was very supportive of me and our girls. We have 2 teenagers, one each from previous relationships during this time. Unfortunately, this is all now tainted as his friendship with her continued to develop throughout this time as they spent all of their lunch breaks together, parked up in car parks near work. He also discussed my health with her, which apparently was why he couldn't leave me. Just to elaborate, she was well aware of our situation and has met us previously. Bought a gift when our daughter was born, continued to comment on social media posts of our girls and has 2 children of her own. I was not in a very good place for a long time. I don't think I ever truly accepted how deeply betrayal affects you. I did try to work on our relationship and he gave me false hope, but ultimately chose to be with her. After a lot of processing, therapy and trying to heal, I realised I should never be just an option to someone. Hehir! Fuck yes. I still find it hard to accept that someone I considered my best friend and the man I was going to spend my life with could betray not only me, but our 3 daughters as well. Fast forward to now, I'm in a much better place, doing things for myself and the girls, and I've made a lot of changes to my lifestyle. I probably never would have done otherwise. I'm yet to brave trying to date or anything yet, and we've managed to keep a good co-parenting relationship when it comes to all 3 of our girls. I still spend a lot of time with my stepdaughter, and I can't really fault him for the parent he has continued to be. However, I can't even comprehend how to accept that this woman is going to be in my children's lives. I don't believe she has a relationship with them yet. She has met them, but prior to our separation. I realise our teenagers will make their own decisions, but the thought of her being in my toddler's life and building a relationship with her makes me feel physically sick. How do I learn to accept this? I'm going back into therapy, but the irrational thoughts of my daughter being part of the family with this woman and my ex really consume me at times. Looking forward to Wednesday. I thought I would respond to this. I'm going to try not to get emotional. Please don't. Oh, I'll be all right. Should we pick family or pictures? I'll be okay. No, this is something that I've had to endure over the last 2 weeks. Sorry. So, yeah, my ex has introduced a lady into my kids' lives. I've recently moved in with her, and I got a text when I was on an aeroplane to say it was happening that day, so it completely knocked me. It knocked me because I think if things were the other way around, I would have approached it differently, but I think you learn to accept that you can't change other people, and just because you're going to do something one way, it doesn't mean that other people are. I found out that my kids were meeting someone else, and I think in my head I've always known this day was going to come. I think as someone who separates, you know, like it's the inevitable that they're going to be with someone at some point, and someone's going to be introduced to your kids. And I know up to this point it's not happened to any of us. I'll be honest, I didn't think it would be me first. I don't know why, I just didn't. And it wiped me. It absolutely knocked me for six. I don't know for me if it's more who it is and the way in which things were done, but I still find the idea of not knowing really what's going on when my kids aren't with me really, really difficult. Like probably everyone in this room, I never anticipated a life where I wasn't with my kids all the time, or they were away somewhere and I didn't know what they were doing or who they were around or what kind of way they were being brought up in. And I don't really know what advice I would give, because I don't feel like I've actually handled it that well. Like I feel like I've made myself physically ill this week from the stress of it all. And I don't know, like hearing your kids coming back and talking about someone else, it's literally like a dagger to the heart. And unless you've experienced it, like if anyone in this room has experienced it, you'll know exactly how that feels. It felt like, I don't know why, I felt like I'd gone through the worst of the pain like a year ago, and I felt like, fuck it, like you've smashed it, like anything else now. Like I feel like I've done a lot of the first now because I've done the whole year. So I thought, I can handle anything. Like I was feeling really strong, really empowered. And then this happened and I was like, fuck, like.
We always said though, didn't we?
I know.
I do think, I haven't experienced it yet, but I do think that is probably everyone in here. It's your worst, that's the worst nightmare. Like once you've gone through that, like finding out that he's cheated or he's left or whatever reason you're not together anymore, it's that moment of when the kids are introduced to another woman.
Yeah. And for me, it's like, it's not been done in a gradual way, like they're in a house living together. And I find that, I don't know, I feel like as a child that must be quite overwhelming. And my kids have taken it incredibly well. And actually, I think I'm the one who's not taking it well. And I feel like a shit parent, because I feel like I should actually just be focusing on my kids and being like, they're so resilient and they're handling it really well and they're taking it really well. Like they're coming back and talking about her and I'm like,
can I just say, I disagree so much. Like amazing that they're good. Mm-hmm. If it's almost like you're not upset that they're good.
No.
But because they're good, it allows you to think about yourself. Like this is a time where you need to like take it in, like go through it. It's like grief all over again. It's a whole new experience. And we always said, you know, I think a lot of these situations, it's harder for the parent than it is the kids. Great, they're good. So then that means that you can just concentrate on what you're feeling, go through the motions. And that doesn't make you a shit parent.
I know, it's that mum guilt, isn't it? I think like the fact I've remotely thought about how it's making me feel as opposed to like, oh, my kids are okay. My kids are okay. And I think a lot of us will agree, like kids bounce, kids, you know, they deal with things a lot better than you expect. I think a lot of our worries are always over like, we're doing the right things by our kids. But in most situations, I think kids are really resilient and they just they're so young, they're like sponges, they just kind of get on with things around them. And as long as we're being really positive.
I've had it the other way around. I haven't met my ex-husband's girlfriend, but he had met my boyfriend, and I did it in a way that I think we would both like it to be done to us. I offered for him to meet him first. He declined the offer. So my boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, awkward, met the kids first, and then my ex-husband eventually met him really casually, and that's how he wanted to do it. But I put the option into his hands, and like you said, unfortunately, you cannot control what the other person does. And I think, sadly, either just speaking to a few of you and hearing what your exes are like, you've got to set realistic expectations and realise...
Right down the bottom, girls.
And realise that like what you would like or what you would do for them doesn't mean that we're going to get that. And we've always said that, haven't we? Like, unfortunately, you've got to work with what you've got.
Days, and just to like normalise it to anyone, because there will be people in this room who like will have to go through it. Like, it wiped me for days. Like, mentally, I was in such a bad place. Like, everything... You start questioning everything. You're like, fuck, like I thought I was doing so well, and now I feel like a million steps back. And then I woke up one day and I was like, no, like you've come this far, you knew this was coming. And it was actually when I was editing one of our reels to put out on our Instagram, and it was the one about like, you've got to understand you can't change someone, and actually you need to focus on the things that you can control. And I kind of needed to like hear myself and was like, listen to yourself, bitch. Like, you can't control, I can't control what they're doing, who they're with on his weekends when they're with him. It's shit. It's not how I'd like things. It's fucking hard. But I can control their time with me, the love they feel from me, the way I do things in a more careful way, considering my children. And that's what I will continue to do. And one day, I think it was, I don't know if you guys follow someone on Instagram called Legally Nick. If you don't, really recommend, she's fucking brilliant. She's friends with that Safia who lost the baby, Ashley Kane's ex. She's amazing. But she said something like, your kids are kids for such a short period of their lives. They're adults for such a high percent. Like, they'll figure stuff out when they're older. They know where the wrong was done. It's not our job to direct them to where the wrong is done. It's our job to parent them and to pretend everything's amazing and to let them think the world of daddy and let them think the world of mummy. And that's what we have to do. And I think whilst it's really fucking hard sometimes, that's what we do. And one day...
I promise you they'll figure it out for themselves. I've got a 16-year-old and a 12-year-old, and they know exactly. Yeah. They're so strong in what they believe, who they come to, or what they see and what they've heard and how they interpret it is so different from how we thought they would ever be. And honestly, they will 100% have it back through it all.
Yeah, and do you know what else I think? Thank you for that. I think that also they'll look back and realise like what we didn't tell them and what we allowed them to believe and feel. And you know, yeah, they'll be like, wow, like my mummy like
did all that for me to protect me. Yeah, 100%.
So 100%. It's holding on to little things, isn't it? But you're smashing it though, and then
you don't have a choice, do you? No. Yeah. Well, now I've taken one for the team, so
yeah.
I'll be sending you the same voice that's back recently.
Cheers. Okay, this one is called One Way to Have Another Girl. I get it. I don't get it. Anyway, we'll go for it. Hi, girls. Sorry it's a long one. Feel free to shorten. Absolutely love the podcast, and I'm attending the first live show. Oh, can't say sit down. I'm joking. I look forward to an episode every week. So I signed up to Tinder. I haven't tried Tinder.
I didn't on Tinder.
Anyone on Tinder? Anyone tried Tinder? How's that going? Pretty good. After a failed 10-year relationship with an absolute waste man of a guy. Waste man? Who's had a waste man? Looking back at our 10-year relationship, I should have left a lot sooner than I did. If only I could have told my younger self this. Amen. Anyway, I was anti-men and living my best life, started renting a flat, great career and a supportive network of friends around me. I was about to turn 30 and my friend and I went to see Sam Smith in concert. Stupidly, drunk on the tube, on the way home, we downloaded Tinder for one another and frantically started swiping left and right. I love that. Fast forward 2 days later, I matched with this guy. He was tall, dark and handsome. Something to be careful of those on. We instantly clicked and agreed to meet him. We went to TGI's. He was a genuine, down-to-earth guy, so I thought. He kissed me on the cheek goodbye and we went our separate ways. How PG. I agreed to see him again, and this time he commented on a lot of other women. Don't get me wrong, I can appreciate a good-looking woman and would often agree or disagree, no harm in it. Fast forward 6 months, after a boozy night out in London... Don't know. Fast forward 6 months after a boozy night out in London, I wake up in the morning, must be, to a message from a girl who I assume is the girl we were chatting to on the train on the way home. He had sent private pictures we had taken. If you know what I mean.
Is that red flag?
To her, and she had come back very abusive. I would have done the same. I confronted him and he apologised and said he had got carried away. I heard no shit. Sorry, I got carried away just sending photos of your vagina.
I think it would be saying more tasteful like that.
He said it was a one-off and it wouldn't happen again, but he liked the thrill of it. These men, eh? Didn't I tell you about that guy once? There's like a fetish, isn't there? But this actually has nothing to do with this.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah, that
Going off on a tangent. Do you not remember when I told you that quite a common fetish is when like guys get really turned on by what their women having sex with someone else?
Yeah.
It must be something.
You've spoken about this on the podcast.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, what?
Swinging.
No,
like actually
called something. Voyeurism.
Is that what it is?
We read it in the email with the Excel spreadsheet.
Not that spreadsheet.
Who still uses it?
You know, no one asked for it. So surprised. People just probably screen recorded that and wrote it all down. We thought,
Guys, if anyone wants it, let us know you still got it.
I forgave him and we moved forward and I had my guard up a little bit but found a way to forget. We always do, don't we? Time passed and we were having fun. Everyone in my family loved him and stupidly so did I. Fast forward 3 months and one of my best friend's sisters, who is a lesbian, had seen my profile on a girls only dating app. And
my God.
And I quote, looking for that special girl in the bedroom for my partner and I. That was all my bio said. I started doing some digging. I was sent screenshots of my profile. I found numerous other profiles. He has changed his Tinder too. Oh, pictures of him and I. Changing bio to what he wanted.
So what, like, this is us, we're looking for a special lady.
Yeah. I also opened his phone one night and he had locked it on a WhatsApp of another girl's profile picture. And when I looked at the messages, he was trying to get her involved in our relationship. So, hold on, I can't remember if I held up a green flag or red flag for a threesome. This isn't my song.
I think it has to be a consented and agreed threesome.
I meant green flag for someone that is like single, not like in a relationship.
We don't need your just.
Whatever.
So now, if you happen to have a threesome.
Who are the emails? And it's fucking joking. Okay, safe to say I didn't know half of what I found even existed. There surely is another world out there. I was mortified. Each their own, but I'm more than comfortable in my sexuality. Safe to say I confronted him and ended things with him there and then. Good girl. I didn't realise by saying women are attractive, it meant I wanted to have sexual experiences with them or share my boyfriend with them. I mean, I'm pretty sure that that is not what it means. I think women are pretty.
Yeah. That's a big deal, having a third person in your relationship. And also, like,
guys, be careful what you say.
doing that on your own. Like, surely if they wanted that, they could talk about it and then do it. But
I was put off Tinder completely. Fast forward to 2016, I rejoined Tinder apprehensively, felt ready to start dating again, and I'd done a lot of work on myself. I wanted the next things in life, someone to share my life with. I quickly learned that it's true, not all men are the same, and I can safely say, I met my soulmate. 8 years later, we own a property, a business together, we have 2 beautiful children, and are set to get married. It's true what they say, trust the timing of your life, keep up the good work, girls, you help so many. I love that there was a happy ending to that. Is it? Oh, thank you so much for sending it in. That is wild. I feel like, can you imagine if we all just shouted out the name of our red flag? Oh my god, I saw him on Bumble. We were saying that we need to make some sort of group, don't we?
yeah.
Oh my god.
There's a Facebook group. Yeah, there's a Facebook group that I'm in. That is, obviously. And I think it's London and Essex. And the messages people write in this Facebook group, it's basically messages kind of pre-warning other girls about people that they matched with or dated, and they kind of give like heads up to people. But the story.
Guys, shall I read you a message that I got on Hinge the other day? Hold on. Here we go. Here's a little sneaky exclusive. I'm actually come off the apps for now. This is probably why. Bear with me. Won't be find it. God help me. Right. Hey. You good, bruv? I really like you based on your pics. Emoji with the glasses. I'd like to say up front that under my circumstances, in brackets working travelling a lot, I can't really get into something serious, but I wouldn't want to waste this opportunity, so I'd be happy to invite you for a nice bottle of wine to my place. Or if it's easier, I can come to yours. If we both like each other, we might as well end up getting intimate. What can we lose? Upside down smiley face. Don't know why the fuck you're upside down, babe. If this sounds good, if this sounds too much, then this is the other extreme. If this sounds too much, I'm happy to go for a walk. Sorry, are we in COVID? Sorry if this was a bit too direct, but I'd rather be honest and not waste other people's time.
I'd love to know how many other women he said that.
I mean, that was definitely a copy and paste, wasn't it? Thank you very much, Daniel. Shame I don't have your surname, but yes, thanks. Well, it's safe to say I haven't replied,
and that is dating in 2024.
Yeah, so that is why I'm currently not on Hinge anymore. Yeah.
Last thing. To wrap it up. Well, no, first confession, haven't we, after this? Okay. One to make you laugh. I was messaging a guy for 10 minutes on Bumble before he asked me.
Oh, 10 minutes.
Gonna do a little voice for it.
I'm calling.
Would you like to be folded like a pretzel? To which I eagerly replied, fucking love this response. You'd have more chance rolling me like a sausage, babe. Block, unmatched, and they say romance isn't dead. Fucking love that.
I mean, that is a brilliant reply, isn't it?
Fucking smash that.
Right.
We are going to do a confession. It's, you got the confession?
Yes,
We're going to do a confession.
Right, confession of the week. I saw that. Hey ladies, love the pod. So gutted I can't be at the event, but I hope you can share my very unhinged confession.
Oh, we love an
We love a bit of unhinged. Green flag if you're unhinged. Unhinged.
Or unhinged.
Kind of unhinged. Okay. You girls mentioned that you found going to a psychic really helpful, but I decided to go down a slightly different route. I got in touch with a black witch. Snorted. She made me bring an item of clothing of my ex, and she did some weird spells.
Do we have a number? Do we get a number in here?
I don't really know how that. And she sent a curse over him. I cannot wait to see the results. Hashtag sorry not sorry. Hashtag unhinged and don't care. I will get a number for you guys. We had so many people.
Yeah, so many
asking for
people
the
asking for
sidekick. Yeah, wait for her number. She's going to get her fucking... Can you imagine?
Imagine snipping a piece of his hair. And a voodoo doll.
Yeah, love that.
We're not, by the way, disclosure, we're not recommending anyone tries to put any kind of curses or spells on their exes.
But if you do, let us know how you do it.
Let us know what the outcomes are.
We thought we would maybe do, and this is obviously only if anyone wants to, have a little Q&A open up to you guys. If you want to ask us anything, if you want to share anything, obviously don't feel like you have to. I know that we've always kept things anonymous, but we can answer anything.
Did you celebrate your divorce?
Yes, I did. I had a
I'm not
divorce
divorced
party.
yet.
Really? Yeah, I had a divorce party. It was so much fun.
Yes.
And yeah, I just feel like, fuck it, why the fuck not? Yeah, it was really fun. I had all my girls. We all wore black. I got a black veil.
Me too.
Really?
Yeah, we had a drag queen.
Drag queen.
I love
So
it.
bad. There was videos, wasn't there?
And my mum was like, oh my word, that cannot go on any social media. Because they just completely ripped it.
Two shreds.
Just out of interest, just a show of hands, you don't have to put your hand up. Is anyone, so obviously Tash is divorced, I'm in the process of divorce. Is anyone else in the process? Okay. You feel your shit too. Yeah.
I promise you, I mean, mine took a lot longer than I felt like it should have, because ours was actually relatively amicable, but it still took 18 months,
Yeah.
I believe.
It's a hard process. I
It is
think
a hard
it's a
process.
very mentally draining process for anyone going through it. Just like my biggest advice is like sometimes try not to lose yourself in like just losing your head. Just remember, like I keep saying it to myself, like I will focus on the things I can control. So yeah, I think it's really easy to stress over the things that might lay ahead or might happen or might. That's what I really struggle with, is like my brain like overthinks and thinks, what if this, what if this, what if this? And I think it's like not knowing what's going to happen. I find like
I think it goes back and forth as well. It's like, oh, I want this, or no, I want that. It's like, if we don't agree, how the hell we're just going to keep spending our life going back and forth and back and forth? And I think sometimes you do need to pick your battles. I think that's what I ended up realising, is there are some things that I'm not budging on, and then there are other things where I was like, do you know what, I'm not going to get everything I want. So I need to decide, do I want to move forward, or do I want to, eventually you end up spending so much money trying to get more of what you want, and then you end up losing that by the money that you spent trying to get it. So I just think that my advice would just be try and look at the bigger picture, and there is a light at the end of the tunnel, like promise that do you want to do an affirmation? Yeah. Affirmation of the week is
I think we look at me because I just make up bullshit and believe it. But
say it and I'll just do it.
there is a reason that what happened to you, and one of those reasons you're all here today. So
Yeah,
thank
love
you
that.
everyone
Thank you
so
so
much
much.
for coming in.
Thank you guys for listening. Make sure, as always, you follow,
Like, subscribe, share,
spread the love.
spread them.
And this was amazing, and we wouldn't be able to do it without all of you. So thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you next
Yeah,
week.
feel free to mingle for a bit, chat, like get to know someone who like you don't know. Like hopefully tonight you've really felt like it is a community, like no one is alone, like we've all gone through a lot of similar shit together, and every single person in this room should be so proud that you're sat here where you are now. Like we're all incredible, strong women, and we don't need our man. No, like seriously, like the fact you go through these situations and you think that is the end of everything, but you find a strength that you don't know exists within you, and you just, like I genuinely feel it in myself, like I feel like I've become a really good version of myself that I'm actually really proud to be, and I'm excited that my kids now get to experience this person, because that wasn't the same person who I was. So, yeah.
Amen. Thank you, guys.